I'm Madison Carr, and I'm here with Coach Miller from Almerell. Thank you for doing this interview with me. My first question is, why did you choose this profession?
Well, choosing this profession was something that I always kind of knew I wanted to do. I always knew I wanted to teach coach and tell you this. Matter of fact, if you look back at the yearbook, I think one of the things I put on there that I wanted to do when I got older was I wanted to teach. And at that time, I really was into social studies. I loved history and social studies, and I thought I was going to end up being a history teacher. But then as time went on, I ended up liking activity more and more, and I thought, well, I might want to get into physical education, and so that's what I ended up deciding to do later on in life. I went to college right after high school for a couple years, and then got out of college and started family and worked full time in the steel industry for 8 years, and then went back to college as a non-traditional student as a physical education major, and ended up getting my physical education and health education degree with coaching endorsement.
Okay. How long have you been working in this field?
Been working in this field for 6 years. Before that, though, my first time when I went to college, after college, I did substitute teach for a little while, and then I got out of it for a few years, and then went back to college, and then so I'm finishing my 6th year at this time.
What advice would you give to someone pursuing this profession?
I would tell them to first of all, I would tell them that it's something I believe is an enjoyable profession. I love it, and I would encourage them in it if it's something they really wanted to do. And the way they can find out they really want to do it is maybe volunteer their time at educational facilities, at a school, working with kids, and just to kind of make sure that is what they want to do.
What is your schedule like on a typical day?
Schedule's very busy. Monday through Friday, I will have my basketball classes. I will have first hour is junior high basketball. That's 8th and 9th grade girls basketball, and we also do a little bit of track during those periods as well. But first period is junior high basketball. After that, I normally do what's called RTI, response or intervention. That's where I will pull kids out of elementary classroom and work with them one-on-one, or I may stay in the classroom and work with them a little bit. Is what I do, and so that's response or intervention, and I really enjoy that part of it as well. And then also I have usually 2 PE classes on every day except for Wednesday. I have 3 PE classes for elementary PE, and then I'll have usually RTI time in the afternoon, and then I will have 7th grade girls basketball and also senior high girls basketball in the afternoons.
Do you prefer to work with elementary or high school age kids?
For physical education, no doubt elementary. Elementary is just a good age to work with when it comes to physical education. They love movement. They love to get in there and move around. They usually like every activity that you throw their way, and they're happy to be there. I have taught both elementary and secondary physical education. Although there are some good points to it. Usually, a lot of times if they're at a small school, if they're in the physical education class, usually they're not as big on movement as the elementary students are. So you have to try to be a little bit more creative just to get them involved and just get their bodies moving a little bit. But elementary students, you can throw a lot of different things out there, and it can be pretty simple, and they're going to enjoy the movement.
All right. What particular skills or talents are most essential to be effective in your job?
Well, I believe that you have to communicate well with the kids that you're speaking with, and trying to teach and trying to work with. And they have to know that you enjoy working with them. And so I think that's definitely a couple musts. Also, time management. That's a good skill to have, because usually what happens with the physical education teacher is a lot of times they are involved with other things. They may have to teach another class. They may have to coach another sport or multiple sports, and so time management is a big skill to have as well.
All right. Are there organizations you're expected to join?
At my school, they don't expect me or require me to join any organizations. Now, I am required to keep up my professional development. And so each year you would try to find professional development that relates to your field. And actually, Northeast Arkansas, sometimes it's a little bit more difficult to find physical education professional development. Usually, you have to, if you look for different ones, you may have to travel a little bit to find physical education professional development. But it is out there. And so now that is something that we're required to do.
How has your job affected your lifestyle?
It has made it much busier. 7 o'clock in the morning, start driving the bus, a bus route. Of course, I've already told you my schedule throughout the day. And then being a coach as well, there will be many times where I'm pulling up at the school, coming back from a trip, 10, 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. So many nights of the week we are out. And so it's made it much, much busier.
How did you get your job?
I was a non-traditional student, so I had an opportunity to make some connections and build some relationships. And so whenever I did finish my degree, my alma mater, they had an opening for physical education and coaching. And so I had a couple individuals at the school contact me about the job. And so after an interview process, I was hired, and so I was thankful for that.
What do you like most about the school?
I like the fact that we are a small school. I know every one of my elementary PE students by name, and also I know a lot of their family members, and so I like that aspect of it. It is a small school, and also our teachers work really well with each other, and our administration does a good job of working with us as well.
All right, thank you.
All right. Thank you.